What's going on, guys? It's Brandon back here again for another BFR today. So, probably thinking two things. One, Brandon, where's your whiteboard? Firstly, secondly, you could probably see it. It's right there. There's stuff written on it because there was a video that was supposed to go out yesterday that I decided to postpone until after this game today, and you'll see why. Should be tomorrow, or what day is it today? It should be Friday where it gets uploaded, or Saturday, depending on my time. But Game 16 versus the St. Louis Blues was played on national television. It was on the TNT channel at 6:30 p.m. on November 16th. And the Hawks lose 5-2. They dropped to 6-7-3. Dickinson was in, Regula was in, Ruse was out, and Reese Johnson was out. Shots were 35-27 for St. Louis. Hits were 10-10, so even there. Faceoffs were 29-21 Chicago. On the power play, Chicago goes 1 for 3. St. Louis goes 0 for 2. And Soderblom was in for his first ever national game, 30 for 35. Binnington 25 out of 27. As the Blues have become a very streaky team. They started the season off winning 3 in a row, then they proceeded to lose 8 in a row, and now they've won 4 in a row to almost get back to 500. The Blues were without Parayko for this game. It turned out it would not matter. Whatchamacallit? There was on the TNT panel, something funny that happened was they had a golf cart in the studio, and they just kind of drove off with it. Rick Tocchet, Anson Carter, and that thing. And then Keith Yandel also joined the panel today, so that was cool. Hossa was on during the first intermission. It was the Blues' mom's trip. For St. Louis, it was Tyler Tucker's NHL debut. And during the second intermission, this is more of a Chicago thing. Those from Chicago know about maybe even out of Chicago know about the St. Ignatius hockey team. It was the JV varsity, the junior varsity team that was. They were on their way home, I think, from some sort of hockey tournament, and a drunk driver who was in a semi-truck hit the bus at high speeds. There were, I believe, originally it was 19 people injured. It's gone down to 16. There are 2 still in the hospital, but it was reported that one was going to be released very soon. So that's great news that no one has passed on or anything like that, from everything I've heard. So, and prayers to the St. Ignatius team. I know people who go there, so it's quite sudden. And I knew a few people that play hockey there, so it's kind of scary. But we'll get into the game now after all that. So in the first at 17, I also watched this game at work, so that was pretty cool. And then I came home and rewatched it again at home after work, so that was funny. Then at 17:37, it's a Chicago penalty to Jack Johnson for tripping, which would be killed. Shen was denied. Falk had a huge hit on Blackwell. That was a great hit by Falk. Kane was stopped. Tarasenko shot wide. Then at 5:51, it's a St. Louis deflection goal. It goes off Regula right into the net. It was Callie Rosen just threw the puck at the net. It was going to miss the net. It goes off Regula and in. It's his second of the year from Falk and O'Reilly to make it 1-0. If I had to name an MVP for this team today, it would be Justin Falk. Ever since he's come from Carolina, he's fit in perfectly, and I thought he was always an underrated defenseman, and I still think he is in St. Louis. And so I'm really glad to see. He was always one of my favorite defensemen growing up. Then he grew that facial hair and became kind of scary, but I'm fine with it now. Kurashev to Radish 2-on-1, and then we might have had one of the best saves of the season from Binnington. Side to side, on his back, glove in the air, catches it. Incredible save by Binnington. Buchnevich was stopped. Then at 7.5 seconds, it's a St. Louis penalty to the former Blackhawk Nick Leddy for hooking, which would be killed. So we'll go to the second, where the Hawks started the power play for 1 minute and 53 seconds. The rest of it would be killed. Athanasiou was denied. Kyrou was denied. Then at 14:48, it's a St. Louis goal to Jordan Kyrou, his 6th of the season, from Leddy and Barbashev to make it 2-0. Great patience from Kyrou. He goes around one, waits. Soderblom's down now, waits, shoots. It's in the back of the net. Great patience from Kyrou. And then on another rush about 2 minutes later, it's a great play by Jack Johnson to push the puck up ice from the defensive zone, who gets it to Kane. Kane over to Domi. Domi, fantastic pass to a breaking Athanasiou. And at 12:41, it's a Chicago breakaway goal for Andreas Athanasiou, his 4th of the season from Domi and Kane. So, fantastic play there, and it's now 2-1. Achari on a break was saved, and then at 12:11, so 30 seconds after the Hawks' goal, it's a St. Louis penalty to Buchnevich for interference, and that might be one of the worst calls I've seen this season. Buchnevich wasn't he so the way it was. So Buchnevich was like just standing here. Imagine Buchnevich is standing this way. Entwistle comes up behind him and kind of just runs into him and falls over. Buchnevich gets the penalty. He did not know he was there. He did not move or push him in any way. He wasn't even facing him. This should not be interference. The Blues got screwed over here, but it would turn out to be an advantage for them, as at 11:52, Caleb Jones tried to stop it, but he accidentally kind of hits it in. It's a St. Louis shorthanded own goal from Ryan O'Reilly, 4th of the season, unassisted, to make it 3-1. It was a 2-on-1 rush. O'Reilly throws it at the net. Soderblom makes the initial save, but the rebound goes right to Caleb Jones. It goes off him a little bit, and he kind of tries to swat it out, but ends up hitting it in the net. And St. Louis is now up 3-1 with that shorthanded goal. And then near the end of that same power play at 10:25, it's a Chicago Post snipe goal. Andreas Athanasiou with his second of the game on the power play, 5th of the season from Kurashev and Kara, which makes it 3-2. So now we have a game. There were a lot of block shots at this point. Entwistle shot hits the post. And then at 8:23, so about another 2 minutes later, it's a St. Louis goal from Tyler Pitlick, his first of the season, from Alexandrov and Achari to make it 4-2. Falk was interfered with. There was no call. I think the refs were kind of going the Hawks' way, but they were letting a lot of calls go today. Kyer was denied. Kara was saved. Radish to Taze 2-on-0 wide as Binnington had a great stick thing. Binnington played excellent. Levo had a post. The rebound was saved. 3:04 Chicago penalty to Regula for hooking, which would be killed. We go to the third, where that Radish and Taze stuff that I just mentioned did happen. Then at 13:05, it's a St. Louis breakaway goal from Ivan Barbashev. It's a puck going up ice. They got it out of their own zone. Barbashev broke away, his third of the season from Kyrou, which makes it 5-2. The game had become back and forth for the whole third, basically. It was just going back and forth, back and forth. Entwistle was clearly tripped by Rosen. There was no call. Blackwell was nearly able to get it by in the last few minutes. Shen on a bat down was stopped. That was a great save by Soderblom. The puck is in the air, it's kind of bouncing. Shen just goes, basically just yeets it at Soderblom while it's in the air. He's able to cover it up. Then at 3:20, it's a St. Louis penalty to Tarasenko for holding, which would be killed, and that would be the end of the game. And what I took away from that game is Caleb Jones was on ice for all 5 of the goals. Rough night for Caleb Jones. But next game will be Game 17 against the Boston Bruins in Boston. That'll be on November 19th at 6 p.m. I'll be there for the Sunday video when I have to review that game. And in terms of what's on the board behind me, just a little review of both last season's starts and this season's start to compare. And we'll see that either tomorrow. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I shall see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.